I seen Black Panther the other day. It was the greatest movie I've ever seen in my entire life. A miracle among men. The greatest piece of modern day cinema to ever grace my eyeballs. Pure genius. A masterpiece. It was just pretty good. Not my favorite of all the Marvel movies, but, you know, it was good. It had some good scenes in it, a little bit of action, a little bit of romance. It was alright. Is what I would say if I was a fucking idiot. This movie was pure, synthesized genius. It had a purpose. It had a message. Hope for all the peoples of the free world. A strong, all-black cast. Check. More kick-ass women than there were kick-ass men. Check. A utopian African country that had never been touched by the evil colonizing hands of the white man. Can I get a motherfucking check, baby? But after leaving the theater and thinking about how amazing this film was for humanity in general, I started to think about all the boxes that it had checked off on that progress for humanity's checklist. I started thinking, you know, they didn't check off every box. And if there's one thing I know about people who exist in a box that could be checked off, they get really fucking mad when their box isn't checked off. I wonder how long it's gonna be before we see... Didn't take that long! So apparently there was a missed opportunity for queer representation in the Black Panther movie, and I'll just say my opinion on this up front with you. That's just super fucked up, man. I think this is a big deal. I don't think we should let them live this down. I think we should start a political movement about this. I think we gotta go hashtag Marvel is homophobic. Cannot let this stand. But let's dive into this article and see just what it is that they're saying about it. In the rough cut of this Black Panther scene, we see Okoye and Ayo swaying rhythmically back in formation with the rest of their team. Okoye eyes Ayo flirtatiously for a long time as the camera pans in on them. Eventually she says, appreciatively and appraisingly, "You look good." Ayo responds in kind, and Okoye grins and replies, "I know." Apparently this scene was cut from the movie, and I mean, what can you expect from a company that's as homophobic and hateful as Marvel? This doesn't surprise me at all. It's just a shame and a travesty that they couldn't leave this in the film, you know? I mean, you look at this, man. She looks at her flirtatiously, and she says, "You look good." This is the kind of thing that would have changed society, man. This would have changed the world. This would have blown the lid off of years, decades, millennias of queer repression. It's such a shame that they couldn't have put this in. We would have been living in a completely different world. Ugh, just a shame. So after finding out that this scene got cut from the movie, the writer of this particular article goes on to say, "I sat in this movie waiting to feel betrayed. It's an all too familiar feeling as a black queer woman. I can completely relate to this. Waking up every day just waiting to be betrayed and expecting to be demeaned by society. We should expect more from our movies and society. We should expect lesbian orgies in every single movie. Dildos flying all across the scene. In the background, just gay men in a huge line, 1,000,000 people long, just making out with each other. These are the things that we need to ask the movie producers and executives making these movies in this day and age. It's just a shame that they just can't give us that." She goes on to say, "I'm gonna level with you. As someone who's been squinting through heteronormative romance to try and find a whisper of queerness, Okoye and Ayo flirting with each other ain't enough for me anymore. It's the bare minimum of queer representation, especially if it's two women, and especially if those two women are attractive. This really shouldn't be too much to ask, okay? The next new superhero movie coming out from Marvel is Captain Marvel, and we have to start petitioning this now. Unless Captain Marvel is a 600-pound, wheelchair-bound, queer black woman questioning her identity and rolling the streets indiscriminately killing white people, then I'm done. I'm boycotting Marvel. This is bullshit. I think that it is something that frankly deserves riots. You know, I think we need to be putting some garbage cans through some windows. And you know, it goes on, the article goes on like this for some time, and it eventually ends in saying, you know, T'Challa and Nakia are getting whole ass scenes together. And that's what I want more of in my queer representation. And I mean, that's really not too much to ask if you ask me. Sure, they're going off the source material of the comic books, and that's whatever. They should be changing these things to vindicate what we, the people, want. Think about Batman, okay? Batman was whatever, some young white kid who got his parents killed in an alleyway, whatever. Batman should have been a 13-year-old Mexican girl, okay? She should have been questioning her identity. Her parents should have been killed by alt-right Trump supporters, and then she got disabled by drone strikes. That's how the movie should have gone. None of this, like, nobody cares about following the source material. It's bullshit. We want to be vindicated on the narrative that we want to see in the world, and that's how these movies should be resculpted and pumped out, okay? How we, the people, ourselves want to see it. Not the way it is or was written or as history tells it. I don't give a fuck about that. I just want to see it how I want to see it. On a real note, I actually enjoyed the movie. I thought it was really good, and I recommend anybody go see it in the theater. The point of this video was just to say, look, you can't check off every single box with every single movie. Sometimes, you know, you just gotta take what you get, and this movie, you know, it was really good, I thought, and there was a lot of empowering, cool shit in it. I recommend checking it out. Maybe in the next one, they will have more queer representation. I can only hope so. I only pray. So if you enjoyed the video anyways, like, subscribe, share, whatever. Thanks for watching.